What is up? It's episode 34 of Marlins Franchise. Welcome back. We are just ahead of the deadline, and if you aren't looking, you don't know how good our record is. I'm going to save that for a moment. But we had a huge June and a nice July. When I left y'all last, we were 34 and 27. We popped off for the rest of June from that point forward to wind up 47 and 35 at the end of the month. Then we had not so good of a July. We could not keep the momentum going, but it was a good enough rally to get us going and get us back into first. So the 12 and 13 July that we had didn't kill us. So we're 59 and 48. Let's go over here, and we are one game up on the Braves, 2 on the Mets, 2.5 on the Phillies, 4 on the Nats. We haven't won a damn thing. Not even close. This division is a 5-horse race right now, with Washington even fully in it. I mean, 4 games back, are you kidding me? Of course. And the AL Central is playing somewhat similarly, where they're 2, 2.5, 5, and 5.5 back, and that's with the Tigers losing 10 straight. Oh my God. If this was happening in real life, I'd be livid that they lost 10 straight to fall out of this race. Wait, were they in first? Let's go back a bit. Let's go like before the deadline here. They were 3 games out. Let's just go to July 1st. They were 2.5 out. But yeah, so they weren't in first, I don't believe, at any point. But they were close enough that this is bad. Bad for the Tigers. Anyway, update on our team. So the offense really came together in June to really spur things. It's since smoothed out a bit to where it's now, in the 6 to 9 range, and that isn't just a cheap 6-9 joke. It really isn't. That's just kind of where we live in most categories right now. And then you see a 13th on extra base hits, 11th on walks, 2nd on strikeouts. That's kind of a team motto. We don't strike out. 7th in stolen bases and 6th in base running. That's back to that 6th through 9th kind of ranking, which is fine. And that we can live with that with the pitching staying strong. Although our bullpen ERA is up to 5th. The ERA is not the end all be all. I know that. In an aggregate, though, it can be a decent enough indicator, right? Like, you're going to get a good bit of the way there, because the simple fact is, whether it's, predictive or not, doesn't really matter from that standpoint, right? You can say, oh, they have a 3.96 starters ERA, and you'd be like, oh, well, it should be better because of this, that, and the other. It's like, okay, but what we know is that they're giving up 4 earned per 9 from the starters, and that's telling you at least something off rip. Of course, it's never meant to be a standalone stat. No stats really are. I mean, even WAR, you still want context of how it's broken up. So this strive for standalone stats when we know we don't use them as standalone stats anyway is a little silly. So I made some moves. First things first, I basically just dumped Gurriel. It was a straight up money dump. Traded Gurriel, Curvelo, and Martin Santana for an 8th round pick. That's the best I could get, y'all, and I tried a good bit. So basically Gurriel, still has a decent enough bat. He was only making 1.8 mil. He just wasn't hitting with us. 51 WRC plus. I didn't see any reason to keep him around. I didn't want to cut him. Curvelo, not a bad reliever. Really could have come up and beasted. In fact, he's been excellent for Texas. 0.5 ERA, 0.56 whip with a 34% strikeout rate. He's got a 65 stub with a 70 upside, but he's making 2.8 mil. And he was in my minors. Like, I can't have that when we're pushing up against our budget. And then, gosh, I hate when it goes back. Why doesn't it go back to the history tab? I really wish it would. And then Martin Santana has a selfish profile, making 1.4 mil, and at our AAA, they sent him down to high A. What? Okay, that's a little weird. Maybe his attitude. Maybe they just really don't like his attitude. Actually, he hit the majors, and now he's at high A. I can't really make heads or tails of that. But anyway, he's a solid reliever too. His personality type was not the reason I traded him. It was the 1.4 mil. We needed some money. We had to have a little something. We were kind of up against it all of a sudden. Some of the moves that I did last episode definitely used up some of the extra funds that we had. And so something needed to be done there to kind of finagle some things, and we moved those guys. I made a pickup that, I would just go to the pitching menu to show you him. But he's already come and gone. He was here so briefly, and now he's hurt for 9 months. And it's Graham Ashcraft. He was a free agent, or a waiver wire pickup, excuse me. And it's gone. Ruptured ulnar collateral ligament. See ya after 2 innings with us. Cool, I guess. You know, decent ground baller. Thought he could be a little something, and never really got a chance to find that out. So GG on Ashcraft. Oh, I called up Jake Eater after I think Ashcraft got hurt, and I was like, let's just give him a start. I think it might have been this game that he started. Yes. So Jake Eater got a call up, and he got the start, and he got obliterated. We were down 9-0 through the second. Jake Eater went 1 1/3, 7 earned. We won the game 13-11 in 9. We scored 2 in the third, so it's 9-2. Nothing happens. 4th, 5th, and 6th. We score 6 in the 7th. It's now 9-8. They get one right back, so 10-8. We get nothing in the 8th. They score again, so it's 11-8. And we're like, okay, you know, valiant effort, but this is the end of the line. Boom! We dropped 5 in the 9th, excuse me. 5 in the 9th off of Tyler Birch, who, you know, he's got some decent skills, but home runs are a problem. And he did indeed give up a home run. It was a grand slam. It was Teddy Cashman's second homer of the day. And so that's his weakness, and that's why you don't like to have home run guys in late inning situations. And Tim Hill came and cleaned it up. Yeah. So maybe they should have brought in Tim Hill. He has a 75 movement. But hey, we're happy with what happened because we won that game. So I wanted to share that comeback. Then it was the international signing. We did get somebody. And I went for him. You know, he actually was only asking, I think, 3.6 maybe. And I was like, oh no, I got to get this guy. So I did not even realize his nickname was Headhunter. That makes it so much better. I didn't even see that Armand Aramitani was nicknamed Headhunter. I swear, I had no idea. That makes it exponentially better. But, you know, standard J2 signing, wherein he's got obviously outsized expectations here, and nowhere near there yet. He's 16 years old, but we went for it. You know, it's just one that we'll follow. He does have a good personality, class 2, not much for a leader, but I'm not too worried. Is kind of already locked up in a corner a little bit, it looks like, but hopefully we can foster that right field growth, and maybe as he develops, he can become a bit more of an outfielder. He literally is 16 years old, so it's a blank slate. And then, oh man, this one sucked. Our 1-1 Jaron Purify, who we're trying to get going, will not get going this year. Broken kneecap, out 5 months. He's now fragile. He's been in AAA this year. It hasn't been going well. I mean, he's a bust. He's a stone cold bust at this point. He's 22, but he's busting. Let's say that, I guess. He's not a bust yet at 22. It's a little too early for that. I grant. I will tone that sort of comment down. But again, he's bust adjacent. Okay, he is on the path to busting. All right, he could work at Victoria's Secret because he's very busty. Okay. Anyway, that's Jaron Purify. Let's just do a quick stat update here as we are at the deadline right now. Let's give you an update of just where the team is at. The Dooch and Reese McGuire are doing the catching duties. McGuire has been horrendous at the dish, just like impossibly bad, to the point where I'm just not sure if we can take on this catching ability. I mean, the 65 catching ability and the captaincy is nice, but he's not our only captain, so we don't need to keep him. I kind of want to find a backup catcher. I don't think there's anything on the wire. Oh, we don't have a second catcher here in AAA. Good work, Paul. Good work. Yes, dude. That is neat. Although, I guess Kropel's probably playing the backup catcher. Although we don't want that. He's actually hitting. I don't want to ruin him by making him catch. I need to get somebody. They have 2 here. You can see a lot of guys have like at least 20 catcher rating, which is not good at all. It's obviously the worst. But like on the major league level, oh wait, no, they listed. I thought it usually just left it. Oh no, that's their catching ability. I'm thinking of the fielding at sea. That's what I'm thinking about. That's what we need to see. And we do have guys there, 2 guys there. We have Kropel kind of helping out there. Only 2 there. Yeah, we need more catchers. For a while, we were like a catcher-heavy organization. That has since changed. But like some of these guys just can't hit at all. So I don't know. I mean, I guess I'll move him to Beloit. And then is there anybody in rookie? Only 2. Wait, I got Dalton Varsho down here. I must have forgot that I signed Dalton Varsho. Oh, you know what? I remember now. Yes. Okay. That makes a lot more sense because I was like, do I really only have 1 catcher at AAA? That's embarrassing how stupid that is. It's because I did forget about Varsho. I'm going to cop to that fully. There are no 2 ways around that. But that was the purpose, was to get Varsho, and then also this guy was picked up too. So I forgot 2 of my free agent signings. I've left this guy down here for a long time. Hey, no wonder he's killing it, because he's a fucking 30-year-old at rookie. I'm an idiot, y'all. I wish... So this is still my fault for not tracking it, okay? Whenever if I have a complaint like this, I'm not trying to take the blame off myself. I own it. Got to keep track. But I wish there was an indicator when a non-high level free agent signing signed. I didn't get an email about this. So I forgot. It's my mess up still. 100%. I need to pay attention. But maybe a little reminder. I mean, I get emails for so many other things, like hook a brother up instead of making me look like a dumbass. So I don't think we can send McGuire down. He's out of options. Can we trade him? Would anybody be interested? I mean, he's a captain catcher. You would be surprised. Let's not sleep on the potential here. You know what? I'm just gonna do all. I'll even include veterans. I don't think I can really take on any money, but let's just see if anything comes up. All batters here. Something did come up. Manny Chico is the best of the bunch. He's also a captain. Now he's never gonna be confused for like some sort of great player, but I don't know. He looks kind of decent. What position does he play? Corner outfield. I don't think we really need corner outfield, so I don't know that this will work. And he's probably out of options, almost certainly at age 30. I just want to see what this delivers with the OOTP calculator. OOTPcalculator.com. Not an ad, but just hyping them up because it's a great tool. So a 90 OPS plus 0.6 WAR. Yeah, not that great. That 45 contact just hurts. Not much of an eye either. Was killing it at AAA. Came up, obviously, 208 BABIP certainly doesn't help. Strikeout rate jumped up too. So, maybe not earning all of this negativity, but plenty of it. Let me see, was last option year. Oh, well then I'll do this. Yeah. I mean, I'll look at some of the other ones. I doubt Ali Sanchez can be optioned. Last option year. Okay, well then if we can put him in the minors, then I'll do this straight up. How's this a bad deal, David Forrest? How? That doesn't make any sense. You're an idiot. Right? Like, explain to me how this is bad. We actually get somebody that can be optioned for this backup catcher who's absolutely murdering us. He's also a captain. They're basically the same player, except one can be optioned. Like, it's not the end of the world. I'm just saying, like, the AI here does not make any sense. I don't see how, and he's also younger, the guy that we're getting, Ali Sanchez. I just don't see how any GM would say this is a bad deal. Even if they could do a shrug. If they were just like, whatever. That'd be fine. But to actively say it's a bad deal, and I get it's probably related to how he like favors prospects or whatever, and OBP, but like, I don't know. If it would take some sort of like overhaul of the coding to get this to say something that fits better, like, oh, this is fine, it's like for like, then don't worry about it. But is a little goofy, because I do worry that some people would be listening to this. They follow their assistant GM a lot, and they would not want to do this deal when this is unequivocally a good deal. Like, for what we're trying to do, there is just no doubt that this is the right move for what we need. So, anyway, I'm overrating the complaint here. I will freely admit that. But let's go ahead and execute this for Sanchez. And so, yeah, they're mad that he left. But, like, hello, Ali Sanchez is here. All good. Oh, let's pop you on the 40. Pop you over to AAA. Let's call up Varsho. Let's see if Varsho can do a little something for us. And I decided to trade in kind of the catching ability. I mean, he's only a 50 for our backup in hopes of some hitting. To be honest, like I rarely do that. I rarely go that way. I usually focus heavy on catcher ability, but we know that it's not as important this year. It has been muted. The only downside of this move is it's another lefty bat, and we just have a lot of those. In fact, against lefties, it's all lefties on the bench. But Varsho is a spark plug as well. I mean, he's 32, so I'm not expecting anything special. But he can play a little outfield perhaps too. I like it. So, let's get back here. I'm actually going to go ahead and put him at catcher just so I don't freak out. I got to see 2 C's there or else my brain instantly freaks out. So we'll put him at the catcher there. First base, Alec Burleson having a splendid year. Looking a little bit more reminiscent of that rookie year. I mean, even better. It's legit breakout, best year ever. But actually probably more reminiscent of 2026 and then building on that, because he hit 30 homers in 2026 in 520 plate appearances, and he already has 28 in 419 plate appearances. He has been a revelation. Alec Burleson, this breakout couldn't have come in a better season. Teddy Cashman has been pretty solid. He's doing a lot of good work against lefties as a lefty, which I like. Holding his own against righties, would like to see that improved, of course, because he's having a lot more impact there with 278 plate appearances. But this looks like a prospect that, is really starting to pay dividends. The 5th round pick from 2022, our first drafted player that's really making some high impact, and I'm pretty happy about it. He's got a great personality class, and he looks like he could be something for us. 25 years old. Brandon Lau, excuse me. I got Josh Lowe too. I'm usually pretty good at remembering them, but I goofed it right away. So Brandon Lau has been hitting righties and should be nowhere near the field against lefties. Plain and simple. 117 OPS plus, WRC plus against righties. We'll take that all day. 36% on base percentage. All good, baby. That's all we need. I moved him down a little bit, just let that power kind of go, and we'll go from there. Oh, I didn't have it on my checklist, but we do have some injuries. Ashcraft I did tell you guys about, but Dominguez got nicked, which has become a yearly thing. He still has 4 to 5 weeks. He's fragile. He's probably going to be wrecked at some point. It's clockwork. Yeah, 140, mid 140s is his peak for games played, and that's all it's going to be. I think obviously as he gets older, he's only 25 now, we could start seeing, more like 120-something game seasons, but it's just part of the package. He is still performing above average, although a sub 300 OBP is awful. And then you guys knew about Boz, right? Yeah, date of injury was 5/30. Okay. Just making sure, because I didn't update a couple things on the checklist here for this episode. So yeah, I think it's really just Dominguez that you guys didn't know about. Volpe's back, 109 WRC plus, 1.4 WAR. Solid, not killing it, but certainly not bad. Captain of the team, still one of the best players. Still a lot to like with him. And hey, if you don't like it, you better figure it out, because you got 3 more years with him. Justin Vasos, another drafty, 19th round, giving us something. In fact, 2.2 WAR, even more than Cashman. He has also been a revelation this year, decimating righties and doing well against lefties. He's a right-hander too, so the fact that he's killing righties is great. I love righty-righty capability. That's obviously big, and not not unique necessarily. Lefty capabilities where you're like, whoa, that's next level. Of course, righties face righties all the time. If you want to be a full-time player, you have to be able to hit some righties as a right-hander. Noelve Marte is killing it. He's having a bounce-back season, which is what we'd hoped that he could do when we kind of bought low on him. Can he get back more on track with how he's been? I don't want to deal with that 67 WRC plus. It was a lost season. That's why I was never even 1% worried that, oh no, are we buying a piece of garbage here? And don't forget, he missed 47 games this year, so he hasn't played all year, but done pretty well. I don't like that 30% K rate. He's succeeding in spite of it. He is somebody that will be shocked this offseason. I'll just be forthright about it, and it is tied to that 40 avoid Ks, and so we'll see what happens. I hope he can finish with a good season for us, up that value a bit in the market. He'll be making 13, then 18 and 18. If I can't find something suitable, I'll stick with him. He doesn't have to be that great to quote-unquote earn this, especially the 13 mil next year. So we are in no urgency to make any sort of move. I will say Carlos Colmenares has been a massive disappointment. I was really starting to get hyped on him last year as somebody who could be a major cog for us. And, not obviously with the lack of power. He's got 45 home run power. That's always going to kind of stifle just how great he can be. He has to run like a hot BABIP and not strike out and steal bases and play great defense. And that's how he can kind of be, like a 4-win type of player at the peak. I'll take a 2.5 win type season because, again, the hitting isn't going to be there really. Unfortunately, the hitting's even worse than where the projections are. He's been worse than last year. And he has still maintained positive WAR because of his defense, but I've started to sit him a bit because of just how bad the offense has been, and I don't want our offense to fall too far behind. As I mentioned, we gave back a lot of our gains from June in July, and so it led me to start tamping down Colmenares' playing time a bit. As you can see here, he's playing every third game right now for Marte, and I'll let him get Volpe off his feet every once in a while, too, every fourth game. He's the defensive sub at second, third, and short. He should be playing some for Lau, even though Lau's doing fine against lefties, or against righties, excuse me. I don't need to play him every day, because Colmenares is still somebody who I think in the future can be a quality 3 to 5 win guy, depending on where his BABIP luck is, right? His defense is going to give him a foundational set, a foundational, win and a half to kind of build on, 2 wins maybe, depending how great his season is or where we're playing him second, third, or short. But he's an asset for a long time to come. I'm excited that we have him without a doubt. Just even though it didn't quite come to fruition this year the way I'd hoped. Speaking of not coming to fruition, our first ever pick, Corbin Dickerson, the 6th overall pick from 2022. Yikes. I'll just hit you with a yikes on that one, y'all. I mean, I like to make this joke or some iteration of this joke a lot. When you can add 2 years of a category and it's still not good for that category, aka you can add his WRC plus from last year and this year, and it's above average. It's 106. I was actually adding the AAA and the major leagues this year. That would only be 91. But even the 106, the fact that you need to add 2 seasons, because you don't add that, right? That's like a rate there, but that just shows you how devastating it is. Obviously, let's just take another example of a player who doesn't suck, and even taking last year's crap season for Noelve Marte, just to show the point here, and you add it to this year, he's a 185. Again, this is a useless metric. You never add him. I'm just trying to show how terrible Corbin Dickerson's been, and no amount of center field defense is going to save that. I'm sorry. So, am I crazy? Can you lose a personality profile with positive traits? I swore he had positive work ethic or adaptability or something. I thought he had some green over here under the personality, y'all. I might be wrong. I might just be misremembering it, but I really thought Dickerson did. That was one of the reasons that I had hope. I was like, oh, he can, work his way through it. By the way, I got the Tigers game on against Boston, and Baez just ripped one, I think, for a ground rule double, and he's wearing these orange cleats, and they're so slick. I was gonna say swaggy and then slick, and I said swick. They're so swick. That's the new cool phrase, okay? Oh my God, he's so swick, dude. Josh Lowe has not been very swick with us. In fact, he's been awful. And I mentioned this, and maybe I put it into the world there and brought it to fruition. I talked about how there's a range of outcomes where if we get the shit end, things can go horribly wrong. You know, because of his plate skills, things can go bad. And we've gotten that. We got a 213 BABIP, 30% K rate. That is well over 100 points dropped off of his BABIP, and a 5-point strikeout rate jump, and it's just been disastrous. I mean, what do you do? That's a 40 avoid K for you in a small sample, 220 plate appearances. And I always try to stress to y'all, even something like that, 205 plate appearances with Tampa Bay, 220 with us, those are small samples. Like, they feel more robust because a lot of times we'll say, like, oh, 30 plate appearances, that's a small sample. And you're like, okay, well, then let me get like 8 times that. It's like, no, that's still pretty small, right? To get a sample to stabilize on a lot of categories, you need multiple hundreds of plate appearances. And even ones that don't, like strikeout rate starts to stabilize at like 70 plate appearances. But all that means, it doesn't mean that that's like where you live, right? The stats are still volatile. It just means that there is some strength to that sample that you can now add into the whole mix. So let's say, for example, that he spiked a 70 plate appearance run, Josh Lowe did, where he struck out like 15% of the time. He just really dialed in. He started to show some improvement. Well, that would not be who he is all of a sudden, but you have some credence to that. That is a sustained level of success to where now you're putting that into the whole pie as a part of it and saying, okay, that's playing a role now, and now we can project him with that included. But if it was like 20 plate appearances of a 15% K rate, you wouldn't put it into the sample with any sort of weight. That could be a stone cold fluke, and the 70 can too. But that is the cutoff where it starts to gain some value. But he's been bad. I'm starting to cut into his playing time a bit. I'm putting Lau in there. I'm also putting Lowe in for Dickerson sometimes into center field. But he's been bad. I mean, what more can you really say? For some reason, I always think Vasos has outfield. He does not. But because I was going to put someone else. You know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to put T-Cash here, 4th game, and then we'll get Burleson out in the outfield every once in a while too, just to kind of mix it up a little bit. He does have a potential 55 left field, so, you know, not horrible. Oscar Gonzalez, an acquisition that we had off of waivers, he's been markedly better for us. He's been 73 times better than he was for the Giants, y'all. And if you're second screening, I'm not going to explain that. So you can just know how... No, I'm kidding. He had a 1 WRC plus with San Francisco in 63 plate appearances. It's a 73 with us. And I know that's not really 73 times, but it doesn't really scale like that. I don't think that would really be a correct way to identify it, but I was just trying to have a goof and a gaff. He hasn't been great. He is hitting lefties, though, and that's actually part of the reason that I picked him up. And that alone is kind of at least saving his spot a bit. He's J-Rod's backup in right, but he doesn't really need to play against righties right now. We can kind of afford to have a luxury where he's a lefty guy. And we'll bring in Josh Lowe every once in a while against lefties, but he's been truly dreadful. I know a 125 BABIP is doing a lot of work there on the 53 plate appearances, but I don't think he's been particularly good against lefties in general. His metrics aren't that much worse. Let me see how he's been for his career. For Josh Lowe's career, he actually has a 103. I stand corrected. Now, he's been awful with us, and he wasn't good with Tampa Bay before coming to us. But prior to that, he held his own. And really, this year, it's the BABIP holding him back. So, you know, maybe it's not all bad. I think with Lowe, it's just he's got to play through it type of thing. I'm going to move those games back up there. I think he's just got to play through it. Like, there's nothing that's going to magically fix or anything like that. He's just got to play through it. because yes, the skills are worse. I mean, the walk rate's actually a point better, but yes, the strikeout rate's up 5 points, but a lot of it's the BABIP and the small sample fluctuation. I don't think he's that bad. He might not be as good as the 119 with Hibba Bay, although he did have a 114 full season last year, so I kind of think that he is. But even if not, if he can be like a 102, just be slightly above average, that'd be fine. And then J-Rod, our new centerpiece, is centerpiecing. He did get hurt, but he has a 143 WRC plus, 3 WAR. He's already matched his WAR output from last year, but again, he got hurt last year too. So similar samples. So that isn't as impressive. He's just on the same pace of awesomeness. It's still impressive, but usually saying that when you're like in late July, you say, oh, he matched his total from last year. Like, wow, with 2 months to go, it's like, yeah, well, he didn't play those 2 months. So it's kind of misleading that I even framed it like that. But since I explained it, it's no longer misleading. And maybe I should have just said it like that from the jump. Pitching-wise, what's been going on with the squad? Let's take a look at the starters. Sorting by FIP minus, where lower is better. Max Meyer's at an 85, 15% better than league average. Everything looking good for him. He's having a hell of a season. Remember last year he led the league in BABIP. This year it's even lower at 255. Strikeout rate's better, walk rate's better. I mean, this is a full-on great season so far. From his R WAR last year, which goes off of like the actual ERA that you had, he had a 4.1 WAR. He has that again this year, but in about 42 fewer innings. Last year, his WAR, which goes off of your FIP, essentially as the basis, he had just 1.8 WAR. This year, he's at 3.3. So Max Meyer having a breakout season, without a doubt. Then is Zach Wheeler, who's only pitched 24 innings, but he is back. He's at a 91. Yohan Duran is a 95. Mackenzie Gore's a 97. And Braxton Garrett's now in the rotation, and he's at a 111. As a starter, he's much worse. He is at, well, they don't show me FIP minus here, but it is not going to be good. Here we go. As a starter, it's a 124, so that's bad. It's very bad. But that's okay. He's starting for us right now. Kind of out of necessity, but the other fact is, and we're going to get into this after I go over the relievers in more detail, I just don't think we can make a move because we don't have any more budget with the Josh Lowe move. That was kind of our big push. Although, wait. No, it was because, yeah, it was almost 2x the salary that Kyrat Ruiz was making. And we have Lowe next year, too, at the same price. So that kind of ate up a decent bit of our roster flexibility, or our budget flexibility, which is fine. I had that money. I think I mentioned at the outset of the season, we have money for a big move in the season, and we made it. We got Josh Lowe. He hasn't been great, but he's still expensive. They don't lower the price just because he's been bad. So looking at our relievers here, we'll actually sort by innings. Nard Dog already has 96 and 2/3. He's just amazing. And he's got a 74 FIP minus. He's coming off of, he's made the All-Star 3 times. He didn't win reliever of the year. That's right. Was he in second? Oh yeah, because Chris Rodriguez won it as a follower, which I thought was kind of cheap. He stole it from Nard Dog. That's right. That's what it was. So yeah, Nard Dog trying to get that win. Speaking of Chris Rodriguez, I did take him out of the rotation. I didn't necessarily have to, but he was getting beat up a bit. His whip's running high. I just decided to go ahead and give Braxton Garrett the shot. Plus, we had five lefties, 3 righties in the bullpen, so it was a better fit anyway. Plus, we also lost somebody, because remember we had 2 lefties. Who did we lose? Who was that? Oh, Trevor Rogers. Duh. When we lost T-Raj, we went down from 2 lefties to 1. So this got us back to 2. So And then Adrian Morion, he was also in there. That's who I was really meant. That's what it was. It was not Trevor Rogers, because we haven't had Trevor Rogers all year. It was Morion who we had, and he just wasn't making the grade as a starter, y'all. Plain and simple. He had to come out. So it wasn't the end of the world, 446, 128. But I decided to give Garrett a shot because he's been good for us before as a starter. And I wanted to get Chris Rodriguez in the bullpen as well. So I moved Morion and Rodriguez back into the bullpen. Braxton Garrett into the rotation. You do see here, though, as this underlying numbers. I mean, I'm still a little suspect of these Sierras. As I've said, I think they're a little bit too low for some of the metrics that we've seen. But as a reliever, Morion's is at 307, and his Sierra as a starter was 382, which again I think is probably a little too low. He could have stayed as a starter, but I decided to move him into the bullpen, and we're back to 4-4. And he does have a 94 FIP minus in relief, 72 for Mason Thompson, 62 in the third innings. He's awesome. Why does he have so few innings compared to Nard Dog? Oh, I just looked at his FIP minus. I did not realize his ERA is actually running pretty high. But that's why I don't just look at the ERA. I mean, it's important in terms of, hey, he is allowing those runs. We need to make sure that that's not continuing. But you look at something like FIP, Sierra, FIP minus, ERA indicators, whichever one you want, to understand what the skills actually are and what you can expect going forward. I think we can expect continued greatness from Mason Thompson, and he should get back on track. Rodriguez obviously has more innings, a high amount of innings because he did the following thing. He's got a 101 FIP minus, so he's right there on the edge. But he's in traditional relief now where he's going to get, 1 to 3 innings instead of 2 to 5 innings, which he was doing as a follower. Franklin De La Paz picked him up off of waivers from the Cubs, and he's been a G. He's now got 39 in the third innings, 183 ERA, 114 WHIP. He's great. And he's an extreme ground baller, 65 stuff, 70 movement, 50 control, 30 stammy. He's been nice. Been really, really happy with this pickup. He was also, a little bit pricey, not insanely so, but 2.3. That was another part. I think, how much was Lau? Was Lau any money? Let me see. Lau was a free agent who was signed to a minor league deal. Never mind. What about the other waiver pickups? So yeah, Duran was 2.4. Morejon was 1.3. So I mentioned the Josh Lowe move using some of our money. So were some of these waiver pickups. Just small little chunks of $2 million here, $2 million there. It's not like we had all the money in the world. So we did use that surplus money. It didn't just all go to waste there. We did make pickups that, hey, we're a little bit more financially driven. And it allowed us to get some pieces, but we are now up against it to where we have to kind of trade like for like if we're going to be able to afford anything or find a team with money, which, that's not always easy. Willie Taveras, he was also claimed on waivers. He's only $1 million, but he's been great too. 35 in the third innings, 204 ERA, .71 WHIP. Love to see that. Mason Thompson already talked about. Oh, wait, got to go back to sorting by innings. So De La Paz, CJ Carter has been bad. 174 WHIP, that's bad. I can't really justify that. That's been bad. And he's been taken out of leverage spots. I don't know if he should even open, to be honest. I'll give him nothing for a secondary role. Just kind of leave him there in the mop-up duty right now. And then Taveras, as I mentioned, and then Colton Ingram, 31 2/3 from the left side. He's been okay. He also has a high whip, though, too. He and CJ Carter, both extreme ground ballers, both with high whips. Where's the defense at? Third. Okay, so they can't just blame it on that. Our zone rating is bad. That's more outfield, though, right? I mean, it zone rating matters everywhere, but isn't it a bigger deal in the outfield when they're covering the spacious zones? I mean, I think you still want good ones. I think you still want good zone ratings for your defenders on the infield, but I think I have that right. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, that's our catch up there statistically. Like I've said a few times now, I don't think we've got to move. Looking at the trade block, first off, I'm not even sure what we necessarily need. Maybe like a center fielder, but that shit ain't going to be cheap. How am I going to be able to afford that? So Dominguez is back in, early September. Hopefully he's healthy, ready to go, because then he'll be right back in center field. So that's the thing, too. It wouldn't even be a permanent center field pickup. So at what cost are we getting somebody who, we're not even using come playoff time? And we also have Joe Erlin, who we could bring back up. He hasn't really done anything in AAA to get called back up, though. So he's angry down there, but I don't know, maybe perform, do something, I don't know, anything. So I think we're good. I really do. I think we're ready to play some games. Pitching wise, we could use an arm, and then maybe do we DFA Carter at that point, or just include him in a trade, I guess? But as far as getting an arm, we don't have much in the minors. We've got some guys. We've got relief arms for sure. As far as starters go, Becerra. I keep forgetting. Oh, wait, I have it right here. It was saved in there. One thing I love about the OOTP calculator is it saves. So you go back to it later and you're like, oh, I had this saved in here. So 40, 65, 55, 50 stamina, 40 hold. So the current iteration of Becerra is a 2.7 WAR pitcher, 3.88 ERA, 134 WHIP. So we even have a starting pitcher if we need him. I don't think we have to force a move. I remain pretty steadfast on that I think we're good to go on making a move. I could even try McDougal. I don't trust him at all. He is performing. We could, give him the old merit-based jump if push came to shove. But right now, Becerra would be the first one up if we had a big opening, more than, say, 3 weeks. We still have Mickable. I almost said a bull. Mickable. He's real Mickable. He's down here in AAA. He can always eat up some innings. He had a high whip. That's part of why I sent him down. And because Carter was out of options. It was an options game there. He hasn't done anything in 6 2/3, but it's 6 2/3. Who gives a shit? So, yeah. I'll say it one more time. I think we're good. Fisher Pyatt came up briefly. And, it was a tiny nothing sample. I was hoping maybe he could catch fire with that power, but it wasn't to be. Mikey Romero did make it through waivers. Not that that's very surprising, but in case anybody saw when I cut him last episode or DFA'd him. And then we've got Sanchez down here catching. Yeah, we've got guys. Okay, here we go. So we'll skip through the deadline. We are off on the day of the deadline. And should we keep an eye on if anybody else makes moves? Weekly power rankings. Where are we? 13th. Okay. It's a little tough for a division leader, but okay. Okay, power rankings. I freaking see you. My feelings aren't hurt. Your feelings are hurt. Shut up. Leave me alone. I'm not even crying. That's freaking... It's eye water. Shut up. Okay. We continue forward. I want to be on the news page here in case a lot of big deals happen on deadline day. Did we get anything cool? Oh, we're going to get a prospect report too. Saving, closing, doing all that sort of stuff. We'll check our player update in a moment. I don't see any trades. I don't see any trades done. Transaction log. No, wow. Trades were light. I wonder if it's because nobody has any money. But, or maybe guys were getting, teams were getting their trades done beforehand. Oh, I did do the draft too. Hello, should probably cover that. So I'll lead off here with this guy that I can't afford. And I knew at the time, I just decided to draft him anyway. It would be nice. I don't even think that, like, even if I traded somebody expensive who was making the 5 mil that he wants, 5.5 mil, excuse me, that I could even finagle it that way. Won't we get a compensation pick, though, for a 4th rounder? He was good. He lasted a while. I was actually looking at him in the 2nd round, and I was like, no, because of the money. And then he was still there in the 4th, and I was like, I mean, I still don't have the money, but maybe I could figure out something. I don't know what I thought I'd figure out, but I have not since figured that out. Let me be clear. Draft review. Let's go with enable 2028, right? All right. Draft review here. So all players. Our first round pick was Chris Robles. Pitcher, 18-year-old out of Tacoma Baptist. He's upset already? Oh, because of the team record? Well, get used to it, big dog. High school pitcher. Took him at the 25th pick. He's got 60 stuff, 50 movement, 65 control. Those are the potentials. I'm only going to say potentials since it's a draft review. Again, second screeners don't look over saying, you drafted a 60, 50, 65, thinking that I got that already set. I figured that's pretty obvious, but just want to be clear what we're dealing with here. He does have 4 pitches. His fastball is actually pretty bad. I mean, it's only a 50. It's a 40 right now, which is, I guess, is kind of cool, but only gets up to a 50. But he's got good secondary stuff, including a potential 80 changeup, which, hey, we like that. So Chris Robles getting some pitching. It was a pitching-rich draft. We do need pitching in the organization, but make no mistake, if there had only been great hitters, I would have taken the great hitters. I'm not necessarily going to draft for need. Tiebreaker, I do lean pitcher because we need to start developing more pitching. But, I mean, we need to start developing players, period. We are finally getting some prospect returns from the 2022 draft. That's pretty bad in 2028. That's too long of a turnaround to finally start getting something. We took Jay McClain in the 2nd round from I almost said from Canada without any hint of irony. It's because I said it yesterday on the broadcast for the MLB The Show tournament. Definitely joking, trying to be funny, and then it's in my head now where I almost said it intentionally. Freaking Canada. Anyway, Jay McClain, 55, 55, 60. Does have 3 pitches. Does have a bad changeup, 30 potential, but has 3 pitches beyond that. Fastball, cutter, slider. So not necessarily ruled out as a starter. And then maybe the changeup can develop a bit. But another pitcher there. And these were both about 2 mil. 2.2 mil for Robles, 2.02 mil for McClain. Then we did take a pitcher next as well. Our other 2nd round pick. Remember, we got that via trade. What trade was that? Did I write it down here? What trade was that? Was that the... That wasn't the Josh Lowe deal, no. That was an off-season deal, I think. I don't think we got a pick in this deal. This was just a straight up, yeah. I should have even checked that one. I knew it wasn't that one. What deal did we get that thrown in? Was it the J-Rod deal? No, we got an 11th pick in that one. I don't remember, folks. But we got an extra 2nd round pick in one of our trades. And that's what we used it for. But I'm being stubborn here, wondering, like, why can't I figure it out? Who cares? It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It'll drive me nuts. And to what end, you know? So we got John Rowe here, who already got hurt with a little herniated disc. 55, 50, 50. Does have his 3 pitches on lock. No changeup, but he's got fastball, curve, slider, 80 stamina, high work ethic. Here's hoping we can turn him into something special once he gets healthy. Then our first hitter was in the 3rd round, Jose Bejarano. Or Bejarano. I don't know if that's a Y sound for the J or what. But robust hitter, 55, 60, 55, 65, 55. That power being at 55. A nice 55 on the contact and avoid Ks. 65 speed, not much for stealing. Maybe he'll learn how to steal. Can shut out the stress and put it on automatic. That strikes me as a good personality class. You know, he can stay focused and really grind. There's maybe adaptability. 70 potential in left, 55 in center, 60 in right, 65 range, 40 error, 55 arm. I wonder if he can improve that error as he comes up, because the range is nice and the position ratings potentials are high. He's off to a comically bad start, 2 for 19, but we'll be fine, he says, hopefully. But yeah, Bejarano, our first offensive pick, came in at 910,000 as well. We started to get a little bit cheaper there. We did spend up on those first 3 picks, and then nobody else was over a milli at that point. Chris Pitts does look like a reliever here. I contemplated this pick. There just wasn't anything else that was really jumping out to me, and he was one of the last top pitchers left. Does have a 65 potential, but it is supposed to be in the bullpen because he only has a 30 potential changeup. Did have the work ethic though. You know, cliche, but he's a nose to the grindstone every day type of guy. You know, so maybe that portends some changeup improvement, and we can still have a starter here. I don't know, but let's just see what happens. He is a switch hitter, but it does not translate into anything special offensively. That's Chris Pitts in the 5th round. We didn't have a 4th rounder this year. Oh no, we did. It was Mike Powell. That's right. It was Mike Powell, who is not going to sign. Andres Gomez was our 6th rounder. Basically similar story to Pitts, where he's got the high work ethic, but he only has a 35 potential changeup. So hopefully he can work that up to at least like a 45, if not better. I would say at least a 40. 40 is kind of the bare minimum, and then if not better, then turning him into a starter. 60, 50, 55 on the stuff movement control with 65 stamina and 65 hold runners. Low greed is a little bit of a dummy too, but that's fine. At least he works hard. That's Andres Gomez. Then we went back to hitter with Jordan Haya. He was only 8,500 or 85,000, excuse me. Which, okay. Now this was a defensive guy. 65 outfield range, 70 error, 70 arm. Also has 65 infield range with 50s in the other infield defensive categories. Already can play first, third, short, left, center, right. Probably would be great at second base as well. Wonder if he could even catch. Oh no, he's just 2020 back there. Does have some offensive upside though. He's an idiot. I don't know how he learned how to play all those positions despite having low intelligence. 45, 40, 45, 50, 65. That's not great, right? You guys don't need me to tell you that. We know that that's not necessarily great. But if it comes with elite defense, that is certainly playable, right? We're not upset having that. If he can be, I'm going to see what this projects out to. It's probably going to be like an 85 WRC plus or OPS plus. Let's see here. 81. That was close. That's a little too low. But if we can get like a 90, 95 with premium defense, that plays. That can be a starting outfielder for periods of time. Primarily best used, obviously, as like a 4th outfielder type. So Jordan Haya, we'll see what's up. Aiden Beans. If you think I took him any other reason besides his name being Aiden Beans, I can't help you. You're just wrong, okay? That is literally the only reason I took him. He's fine. He does have a potential 55 as a pitcher. He looks like a reliever. Bad changeup, blah, blah, blah. Who gives a shit? His name's Aiden Beans. He's extremely self-confident, unwavering once he takes a position. He had to be tough. His name was Adrian Beans, and sometimes people made fun of that until he decided to embrace it and become extremely self-confident that his name was Aiden fucking Beans, baby. 55, 65, 50 for the stuff, movement, and control. Luis Moore was our 2nd 8th round pick, 2nd of 3. He was given an impossible signing. Says who? He kind of cuts the figure of some of these other guys, though. Reliever potential. He does have the 40 changeup, though. So I'm already pretty confident that he could keep the starter with the adaptability and work ethic as well. hopefully getting him to that 40 on the changeup and keeping him in the rotation. In fact, let me go to the FCL and let's get him on the starters train right now. Let's not even mess around with it. Who have we got starting here? Zach Rogers. All right, well, these guys are all pretty viable starters. So that's kind of annoying. Can't really take them out. I really think Luis Moore should be starting though. Who's Zach Rogers? 3rd rounder from last year. Okay, I don't want to just pwn him. 4th rounder from last year. 2nd rounder this year. 1st rounder this year. 1st rounder 2 years ago. Okay, well, what about Jupiter? Lupe Robinson. 10th rounder from years ago. I'm not sure that Pete Hans. While he can start. Actually, you know what? I can just send him. I'll send him to Beloit. Now, I don't want to push somebody too hard here. I don't know that Luis Moore can be just put up in the A ball yet with these skills. I would say no. What about Youngblood? Where are you at, Youngblood? Damn, he was our 1st round pick from 2026. He looks terrible. Y'all, I think I'm high-key bad at drafting. This just in. But I think so. It's just unfortunate. It's an important part of team building. And I don't feel like I am, right? I feel like, oh, I know what to look at and I think I do an all right job, but these results would absolutely beg to differ. And they say, yo, you're dog shit at this. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll start getting better. Let's put Moore at starter. We're only going to go through the 10th round there, by the way. We're not covering all 20 rounds. Okay, Moore's starting now. Back to the draft review. Oh, wait. Might as well just do that real quick. And they do put Youngblood in the rotation at Jupiter. And then Manny Smith was our 3rd 8th rounder. And that one was a tiebreaker one where, like I was saying earlier, if there's a starter or if there's a pitcher and a hitter pretty close, right now I'm leaning toward the pitcher because we need more pitching. And he throws 97, 99. I think he was the last guy in the draft that had high velo, so I went for it. Nothing too special on that one. 9th rounder was Alex Guerra. Solid hitter, 60, 55, 50, 55, 60. If he pans out, like there is some upside there with that capability. Now, his position is hitter because he's already terrible defensively with no upside to speak of there. Now, maybe just being this young, he can kind of develop, sort of out of thin air, basically because he's so raw that I understand why some of these are so low. But he does have a projection of a 106 OPS plus if that hitting comes through. That's good. That's really good. And then our 10th round pick, Shane Black. I just noticed, by the way, that I didn't take my first infielder until the 13th round. That might be bad. I don't know. We have a lot of infielders. I think we're okay. Shane Black, outfielder, 50, 50, 60, 45, 60. No speed, no defense, though. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. But it was an all right draft. I like some of the stuff we got. I like all the stuff we got. That's why I picked it. 80 potential on Robles, 65s on Bejarano, McLean, and Pitts, 60 for Gomez, 55 for Beans and Rowe. And I know those are just early potentials. Who knows if they'll come through? Most of them won't, but they have some upside there. Our low minors are still just vomit-inducing records there, except for DSL2. Shouts to DSL2 with a winning record. I see y'all. All right. Now we move forward here. We are coming up on an hour, but we're going to go a bit longer over that because we're going to keep going, playing some games here. We are now into August. Let's take a look at that progress report. Let's see some green arrows here, some green pluses. Vasos, overall up, potential up. Let's go. Takuma Yamasaki, minor league closer. Current and potential control up, overall up. Brian Hoeing, current and potential movement both down, overall and potential up. Okay. Mikey Romero takes a hit. Joe Erlin got contact boost, eye dip, overall jump. Cool. Bryce Clavin, a former #1 pick for us, eye on current and potential, and his overall and potential both go up. Let's go. Rowan Kelly goes up a little bit, although his overall drops. So speed and defense go up, and then he loses 5 on his overall, I guess. Sure. Jonathan Turner's potential power improves from 70 to 75, and his potential rating improves from 65 to 70. This is a 5th rounder from 2025. Can we get this man on the on the prospect list here in the top 100? Hello? I mean, he's actually been pretty terrible since moving to AA. Maybe I shouldn't have skipped Beloit. But, yeah, I'll move him back down to Beloit. I thought maybe I could do that, but hey, man, you can be mad about that, but you're just not hitting it at AA. Come on. You got to have some self-awareness, you know? Is he going to start, though? Jonathan Turner, he is starting. Okay, good. And batting third. They are very happy with him. We have too many players here. These catchers are bad, by the way. I'm very aware of that. This was all that was available. We couldn't be choosy. We'll have 3 catchers at AA. I don't care. We have 3 at AAA too, because I forgot about Yuya. But that's okay. That's okay. All right, so now check the progress report. August 1st at Philly for 3. We lose. Jake Eater's eligible to come off the IL. He can go do that down in AAA. So we've got Philly and Atlanta back-to-back here. And those are the 2 teams we're sandwiched in between. Atlanta's won 3, we've lost 3, Philly's won 4. So this is not good. We've lost our division lead. We lost 9-6, and it's listed as 6-9. They're taunting me now. Braxton Garrett got murked. God, CJ Carter got hit again. CJ Carter about to get DFA'd, y'all. Hate to do it, but I wonder if it's just that, like, I mean, you know, obviously the BABIP's running high, but he just doesn't miss bats. He doesn't have good stuff. He only has 1 pitch. I mean, he's got a 45 slider. He might have just kind of outrun his usefulness. He's never really been that good. I think that's kind of the issue too. I think we're gonna make a move. I think we'll just bring Abel back up. Actually, we can compare Abel and McDougal. They're very close, but I'll put some hard numbers to it. Might as well. You know? You know what I'm saying? So, first one is Abel. Just as a reliever. Plus it's extreme fly ball versus fly ball. So, they're both going to be scary regardless on that end. And then McDougal. I don't know why I type out their whole name. I could just type out their initials. Like, it's just for me. It's not like this gets shown anywhere, so I know who I'm talking about. I could just put, like, M versus T, to be quite honest. Save those milliseconds. So, they're very close. In fact, it's wild, because what McDougal says that he's worth 0.0 WAR. And I know this is about probably more decimal spots beyond the first one there, because Abel is listed as minus 0.0. McDougal is 0.0. Abel is minus 0.0. So it's probably like minus 0.002 or something. You know, whatever it is, it doesn't quite click over to make it minus 0.1 or whatever. That's kind of funny. So McDougal does get the edge with that extra stuff there, though, however slight it is. And I guess the question is, there's the answer. Oh, McDougal is on the 40. Okay, I was going to say, the question is he able to be called up? And the answer is yes. He does not need it. He does not facilitate a move. So you know what? Well, let's go with McDougal. Let's give it a shot. We're going to DFA CJ Carter because it's just not working. And I think we're gonna kind of pay off the old merit-based promotion here. Do I really believe that he's gonna do that well? I don't. I'm just gonna be honest. And then so the obvious question would be like, well, then why are you doing it? I don't know. It's like a real life storyline kind of thing. Like, hey, this guy's playing really well. Let's see if he can do anything. Plus, he's going to go to RP where it's actually going to be 65 stamina. So let me update that stuff, or 65 stuff. That moves him to 0.3 war. So it is the right move, he says, tongue in cheek. There isn't really much of a difference, right? It's going to come down to who has a better sample. You know, there is no definitive answer there. I'm not too worried about it. He can open sometimes for Wheeler. If they want him to, he and Adrian Morion can definitely do that. Morion, how's he been lately? Okay, he's settled down. I like it. All right, we need to figure something out here against Philly, in Philly. 9-4 dub, let's go. Everyone got a hit, but the Dooch. Come on, Dooch. Max Meyer pitched all right. You know what? 8 1/3, 4 runs and 8 1/3. I'll take that. You know, you see the 4, you're instantly kind of like, you're always looking for 3 or fewer. But in 8 1/3, 4 is fine. 4 is fine. Give me the series now. Come on. Boom. 7-5. Let's go. We needed it. Vasos popped. 3-run shot. 29th homer for Burleson. 3-hit effort. Yes, baby. We love that. All right. So now we got a game and then a doubleheader against Atlanta. We need to make sure we have somebody that can start that second game. And we do have options in the bullpen, so we just need to make sure that they're ready to go. Oh, let's see what their fatigue would be as a starter. Okay, he's dead tired. Oh, he just pitched. I didn't see the pitches yesterday. I was looking down here. I saw 5 days ago, 19 pitches. I'm still exhausted. I missed the pitch yesterday. My bad. McDougal pitched 2 days ago. It was 9 pitches. I just wanted to see. I did see when he did pitch. And then 3 days ago for Rodriguez, but we can just give him the day off today, and then maybe he'll be ready. Maybe. So Wheeler will be ready. Oh, actually, you know what? No, this is fine. Do it on today, and then Wheeler and Garrett. Since Wheeler is good to go. Will somebody be ready the day after that, though? Excuse me. No, I want to keep it on. Keep Wheeler down here. Put Chris Rodriguez there right now. And then we'll see if he's even ready, because he actually might not be, in which case we'd have to call somebody up. I just want to call somebody up. It would be Abel. Nope, he pitched 45 pitches yesterday. It would not be Abel. Be Jake Eater? Yes, it would be Jake Eater. So give Jake Eater 2 days off, just so they don't use him. And if we need him, we'll call him up. Sorry, I got a stuffed up nose and it's just been driving me nuts. All right, first game against Atlanta. Did we take the lead back? We did. We're a half game up. This is a hell of a series in early August, baby. Let's go. Game 1. We lose 6-3. Shit. Marte went 3 for 3. Dudon pitched well. Nard dog got blasted. Damn. We don't ever expect that. Oh shit. Braxton Garrett's not even ready. And neither is Rodriguez. Okay, so alright, so it's gonna be Wheeler. It's gonna be Wheeler and Eater. Oof, that's not great. I feel like Chris Rodriguez could go on 3 days rest, but maybe that's not best to put him into that sort of situation. How's he been lately? Chris Rodriguez. Whip just running high. BABIP was 524 in July. Okay, that's pretty bad luck there. That's pretty awful luck. Well, what would McDougal look like? 67% as well. Okay. All right. Well, we'll call up Eater. Oh, but for who? For McDougal, I guess. Yeah, I think that's the move. And then we'll just flip them right back. We'll just flip them right back after that. Call up Eater. So we'll go Wheeler, Eater. You know, we got to have Garrett in the pen just in case we need him. Because it's a doubleheader too, you know. So Nardog and Thompson are exhausted. Moreon is tired. So we absolutely got to have some hands on deck here. I wish you could have the extra guy for the doubleheader. I don't know if programming that in would be really difficult, so I try not to ever be like, they must have this. It's disgusting that they don't, or crazy shit like that. But I wonder if it's possible, and if so, that'd be kind of cool if you could call up the extra guy. But we don't have 27 available for that day. Who are they going with? They got Mike Soroka, who's been trash, and Huascar Ynoa. All right, well, I think it's safe to say they got a little bit better starter in game 2 than Jake Eater, but maybe he can bring home some magic for us. Here we go. We're going to spin 2. Let's at least get a split, if not both. Come on, guys. 5-4, 4-2. Shit. You know, the guys did their thing. Garrett ends up getting blasted. Unbelievable. That's annoying. Wheeler pitched well in his 4 innings of work. We didn't press him too far. He pitched well enough. I mean, he's wrecked. And Eater pitched his ass off, and Ingram shit all over it. So, I mean, 6 walks, but only 1 hit. So those balance out, right? I'm not too worried about it when there's only 1 hit. 6 walks is a lot. Could have hurt him, but it didn't. So to focus on it too much for a spot start especially would be foolhardy. He pitched well. He gets credit for that. We did not let him. We let him down. We let Jake Eater down. Not enough offense for him or Wheeler. And that's upsetting. Let's bring McDougal back up. And is Meyer ready? No, see. I didn't think so. So now we should have McDougal ready. And I'll eventually put Garrett back in to the rotation here. You know what? I'll tell you what. Unless McDougal has a fire outing here. Unless he's got like a fire outing. I'm putting Garrett back in. Let's see what happens here. Salvage one against Atlanta. Yes, 2-1. McDougal, I see you, baby. I see you, baby. Let's go. That is huge. 6 in the third, or 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. Excuse me, 6 punch outs on 87 pitches. Just a brilliant outing there from Tanner McDougal. Don't send me this shit about Torkelson being player of the week. God, he's a homer away from 4,100. He's just amazing. 16 mil. They did it again, y'all. Now, they had to commit 7 years to a first baseman. We probably could have done something like this if we wanted to go 170. I just didn't want to for a first baseman. So I don't really regret this one. The Tucker one stung, and even the Tim Anderson one did. This one, that's okay. We rented, Torkelson's services to come in. He played beautifully for us. He will be remembered fondly for that brief moment with Miami, but I have no ill will toward him. Gavin Guidry, who the hell's this? Oh, a high-risk bat. Cool. And then RJ Austin. Sorry, hit my mic there. Don't know who RJ Austin is. Oh, he's in the Pioneer League. He was also a high-risk bat. That's a 2022 draft tag. Just some, mostly it was guys who had a decently high contact potential and low work ethic. That's what made them high risk. It was they could get there, but they don't work hard, and so they have some flaws. All right, so that was bad. We're a game and a half back. Oh, and the Mets have passed us too. Sick. They've won 6 straight. Awesome. Neat. I love that. Oh, I'm happy about that. Yes. Oh, great. Yes, that's tremendous. That's lovely. I'm not pissed. Me? No, I'm not pissed. Why would I be pissed? Why would I be steaming livid about that? No. You misread me. You're right. I'm freaking so angry. Do we need Vasos playing more? I think the answer to that is yes. I think we need Vasos here. Getting in for T-Cash a good bit. Because T-Cash is actually doing his best work against lefties. He's been fine against righties. A straight up 100. Okay, no problem. Not upset. But we need more if we can get it. So let's see what Vasos can do. We got 3 against Colorado here. Colorado in 2028, 49 and 68. They suck still. Okay, this has to be a series win. It has to be 7-6 dub. Oh, they have Nasim Nunez. I remember him. I loved the defense, but I just never saw anything coming from the bat, and that's exactly how it's played out. Even with Colorado protection, he's got a 68 WRC plus, 79 last year. The defense just isn't worth it at that point. There's just no shot. Meyer pitched pretty well again. Let's get this. Big 7 win. Take the series off rip. Juan Esparza for Beloit. One of our top prospects. Doing his thing. We love it. What are you angry about? Probably where you are. Yep, roll on team. Well, he's got a 120. It's 21. I mean, I can move to AA. I'm not above that. Jeez, that didn't make him happy at all. What a brat. What a freaking brat, dude. No, but for real, why are you so mad still? This is another catcher I got. How many catchers do I have? Jeez. All of a sudden now I got 1 million catchers. All right, Danny DeAndre. I'm sorry, but it's a no for me. You gotta go. I'm getting a few too many players here. Could probably stand to cut a player or two. I mean, honestly, we can get rid of Lee here. We only had him because he was another catcher when I thought I needed some. I think I put out, to try to sign a bunch, and, most of them came through, and so then I was left with too many. Does Dylan Adkins need to go to AAA? He's only 21. Are they going to play Esparza? They did. Okay, good. Dylan Adkins. Oh, he's a hybrid player. Two-way. Yeah, he can't pitch for shit. Never mind. He has been hitting, though. But he doesn't have... I mean, I don't see a whole lot here. I don't know. We'll leave him in Double A. We'll leave him in Double A. All right, so we get the series. Let's take the sweep. We need it. All right, C.J. Carter passed through. Good for us, I guess. Better than not, I guess. It's another arm. Ah, we did lose 6-1. That's okay. Take series. Don't worry. You take series. Sweeps are great, but as I mentioned last episode, they're very hard. So you can't have any sort of expectation for them. If you get them, that's awesome. You fist pump and move on. But you take a series, and that's what you're really striving for. Devin Williams was a free agent. Oh, no. They just re-signed him. Okay. He's on my stopper list. Oh, no, he was a free agent target. That's what it was. I was like, why did I get this email? I thought he was a free agent or something. No, he was a free agent target. They just re-signed him. Good for the Nats. I don't give a shit. All right, we got the Dodgers. We're going to the Dodgers. They're 60 and 57. Okay, they're not as scary. They're on a lose 4. I'm not taking them lightly, but they're not the Dodgers right now. So let's see what we can do here in LA. Get the first 8-4 at a baby. At a baby. And then lose the second, 7-6. Who blew it? Nard Dog. Max Meyer didn't pitch well either, though, so I can't put it all on Nard Dog. I mean, he blew it at the end. You know, he lost the game, but come on. Meyer did not pitch well at all. Give me the series. Come on, baby. Let's go. Let's go. 10-3 dub. Massive. J-Rod, 2 homers up to 20. 2 homers for Brandon Lau. He's at 9. Mackenzie Gore pitched well. I'd really like to have Wheeler for the playoffs, man. I hope he makes it. I was thinking actually of expanding his workload from the 18 batters faced, but I'm going to leave it because if I press my luck, he'll get hurt. I mean, he might anyway. He's literally wrecked, so we're just hoping. Gerson, Morion, and Tampa Bay. Okay, so now we're getting... He was on the stopper list. Now we're just getting all these emails about guys. I'll leave him on the stopper list. Oh, he's 32. Never mind. I'm being ageist about the stopper list. Plus, he was extreme fly ball. Get out of here. Expiring personnel. Okay, we'll have personnel work to do in the offseason. That's nothing new. That's fine. We're moving from LA to Texas, and then LA is trailing us. They'll be following us back, and they'll rendezvous with us in Miami at the end of this week. Let's go to Texas for 3. We lose 6-1 on the first one. Shane Baz requires more time. That sucks. Would have been really nice to get him back. So he will be back, hopefully. I mean, this could continue to go south. But as long as he comes back, we got Dominguez coming back 1 to 2 weeks. Timing is going to be really nice there, and that will really help us. Obviously, we were never going to rely on McDougal for the offseason, for the postseason rotation anyway. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. We need to make the postseason, which we currently are not. We are being ousted right now by San Diego, the Mets, and the Pirates, who are all in the playoff wildcard hunt right now. We're 4 back of the Braves and 1 back for the wild card. We've got work to do. Give me this Texas series. Come on, give me one here, and then let's get the series. Let's go. Let's go, baby. 5-3 and 11-4 wins. Take a day off. Oh, and look, it's our friends from LA. They joined us here. Got some Mexican League players coming over, saying, hey, you guys need anybody? And, well, you know, I want them to get paid, but they won't get paid by us because I don't think we can afford it, for 1. And for 2, I'm not sure any of them merit these contracts here. Yeah, I can't. I just can't. Oh, those are the posting fees. These are the posting fees. Okay. Okay. but nobody's like that good, you know? I'm sure some of them pop off, but nah. Let's play LA again, excuse me. 4-2 win in series opener. 4-3 win on Saturday. Sweep it. 4-3 loss on Sunday. Oh, wait, it's a wraparound. Take the series win. 4-2 loss. So we won 4-2 and won 4-3, and then we lost 4-3 and lost 4-2. The symmetry is amazing. Winker swats 3 homers. I considered trying to go after Winker. I think this is a free agent target, right? Oh, he's a wish list guy. Was he a free agent this year, or was he a trade target? I think he might have been a trade target, yes, because he's in the midst of a 7-year deal. And I wonder if it was that money that actually made me balk. But he's having a rebound season, absolutely crushing it this year. I considered getting him, but in the end, I think the $24 million for now and a couple of years beyond that was just too much. Oh, Brandon Loud talking shit like, oh, I simply cannot believe I have not been extended an offer to play here next year. It's like, because you're not gonna, dude. Like, don't make me be obvious about it. You're not gonna. A little 2-pack with Tampa Bay before an off day, and then a trip to Atlanta for a 3-game set, which has an off day after that. Oh, that's gonna be pivotal. That's gonna be pivotal. We win 7-3 against Tampa Bay, and we lose. Jason Dominguez is back, though. We lost in extras, I think 3-2. Yep. Okay, so Jason Dominguez is coming back. Johan Duran is saying, give me some more contract as well. Oh, this guy, he's also a stopper. Okay. He's 25, though. I kind of like this guy. I don't know how to say that name. Angel, I don't even want to try that one right now. I'll mess it up. All right. Who's going down in favor of Dominguez? Oh, yeah, Dickerson, duh. The literal worst player ever in the history of baseball. God, he is so bad. So frustrating. He's going to be so mad about getting sent down. It's like, hey, don't be the worst player ever, okay? You could always just, I don't know, not be the worst player to ever play baseball in the history of the universe ever. That's also an option. Golly. I hate it. We'll have 2 lefties in a row. That's fine. Cashman giving back a little bit of that that goodness against lefties. He's still at a 116, though. We like that. Vasos, weirdly not hitting lefties, even though... Actually, no, he's a stone-cold even split. He's just a right-hander, but his actual splits are even, so he should not be expected to necessarily excel against lefties. Burleson holding his own. So yeah, we'll that way we don't have 2 lefties in a row. We will have Dominguez at the 5 hole. That's totally fine. And then we don't need Josh Lowe. Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to keep these in because with the fragility of Dominguez, I really don't mind him getting a day off every once in a while. And he's not so good that he's like every day playing time no matter what or else type of deal. So we're 4 back. Let's get the off day in. Shane Baz is back too. Just in time, baby. Oh, that timing is hot. Tanner, my man, you're actually still high-key killing it. I can't send you out. I just can't. 1, 2. We got 5 lefties. I think Colton Ingram gets sent out. I did not expect to be doing that. Although he's never been, he hasn't, I shouldn't say never. He has been great. He was brilliant in 2025. He has not been so consistently great that this is like unthinkable. So I am going to send him down. He has options. Part of it is just that he is one of the only guys with options. Nard Dog's the other one, and like obviously I'm not sending him. You know what? I'm going to take the cop out, though. I'm going to put Morion on the IL. I think that's the easier play here. Now, It says his back stiffness is not going to affect his throwing, which strikes me as wild that it wouldn't impact that. I don't see how that's possible. But why not play it safer there? We can keep Ingram up, put him on the 15-day, call up Boz. Boom. Easy peasy. Now, McDougal can stay, but he's still getting ousted from the rotation. That's just a given. That's just a given at that point. And we'll start Boz right off rip here. And McDougal, he hasn't been walking too many. Not too crazy there. 255 ERA, 125 whip. That whip says that the ERA will come up. He's not going to hold a 255. That's fine. Doesn't need to. Does not need to. All right, we're going to cap it here at an hour and a half because I don't ever watch this all the way through and people miss the end sometimes. If this is an epic series against Atlanta, I can't have people missing it. So next episode, we finish the regular season. We've got these 6 games at Atlanta and at Philly. That's going to set up what could be an electric September. So that'll be episode 35. We have a playoff push. Can we make it? I certainly hope. Oh, shit. The Braves have lost 7 straight. I didn't even know that. Holy crap. Oh, my God. And Phillies have lost 3 straight. Oh, wow. The intrigue here now. Braves and I both have a wild card spot. Pirates 1 back. Dodgers and Nats still in it, 5 back. Even the Phillies, 6.5, aren't dead. Garrett Cole has a no-hitter through 7. I wonder if he will hold that. But anyway, episode 34 in the books. Come back for episode 35. We've got a pennant race. Hopefully we can make the playoffs. Thank y'all so much for watching. Peace.